And I believe a lot of countries that are already mining Bitcoin, just not announcing it, like Kingdom Bhutan, they were outed because they were part of the BlockFire Celsius, but one of the bankruptcy filings that they were revealed to be mining, and then they just came out and owned it. But there are more probably that are mining because it's really zero cost to them to use their own energy. Mining is an easy way in, but it's important for us, I think, to advocate for more Bitcoin mining at the nation state level because that mitigates the attack on Bitcoin.
When you think of cryptocurrencies, the vast Central Asian Republic of Kazakhstan might not be top of your list.
Power-hungry crypto mining operations like this one in central Alberta are popping up here and across Canada.
Bhutan could soon be the land of the Bitcoin and possibly attract several crypto millionaires to the happiest country in the world.
You think BlackRock is bad? Countries are coming for your Bitcoin. That's the summary of founder and CEO of Pixelmatic and Infinite Fleet CEO Samson Mow's message. In this interview from Bitcoin Atlantis at Madeira, Mow speaks on nation-state adoption of Bitcoin and why it's important GPing forward. The recent Bitcoin spot ETF approvals marked official recognition of Bitcoin as an asset class, and it has driven Bitcoin to new highs even before the highly anticipated halving event. Mow believes this is only the beginning of Bitcoin's global takeover and how nation-state adoption is the next step. He shares some insight into how it has already begun. He believes this adoption trend will benefit Bitcoin not only economically but also bolster network security, and for those reasons it makes sense for him and others to continue their push institutional and nation-state adoption. Let's dive in to hear from him.
There's a number of reasons why it's important to work on nation-state adoption. A lot of people think we'll just buy Bitcoin and then somehow we'll win, but first laugh at you, then you win, right? Before they fight you and before you win, there's probably another step in the middle there, and that's where we fight back or we do something. And this is largely what nation-state adoption is. We're engaging, we're trying to educate, find alignment of incentives, and get the nation-states on board. Because before you win, they have to get on board somehow. So this is one of the reasons why I believe nation-state adoption is important. The second one is I believe Bitcoin has more transformative effects outside of just being sound money. It changes people as well in general. So it makes you better people, and governments are made of people. So hopefully we can get better politicians, better regulators, better everything. And I believe that's also part of how we win. So we're working, engaging, and trying to orange pill the governments and the politicians and presidents, etc. I think we're slowly going to get there, and it's going to be a challenging path because governments are not quickly moving agile entities. They're very slow, but I believe that some people do see the benefit of Bitcoin, and we just have to keep pressing on those points and trying to make them see the orange light.
So far, Mow has outlined why nation-state adoption is a crucial next step for Bitcoin. He's explained that he doesn't believe Bitcoin will live up to its potential if it's used exclusively by cypherpunks. He's also given a brief overview on how he thinks Bitcoin will achieve global adoption. In the following sections, he reveals that this adoption has already begun through mining and is likely growing in secret. He reveals details about a nation that was mining in secret and was only exposed because of Celsius's collapse. He adds that there are very likely more in secret. Let's see more clips from the interview.
So a lot of countries do have excess power. They're just wasting it. For example, Canada, I think there's enough energy there to sustain 3 full Bitcoin networks. And a lot of that is just runoff or sold at 2 cents a kilowatt hour to the US. But largely it's just runoff. They just open the gates to the hydro dams and let the water run. And that can all be Bitcoin. And that can be money that can build roads, hospitals, airports, you name it. So the opportunity is simply just convert your excess energy into money. And you can do what you want with that money. You can keep the Bitcoin, which personally I would recommend, but you can also sell it and get other things that you think are valuable. So the angle with nation-state adoption and mining is that it's an easy in, that they simply just buy the equipment and take advantage of what they already have. At the end of the day, the energy of a country is free for that country. And I believe there are a lot of countries that are already mining Bitcoin, just not announcing it. Like Kingdom Bhutan, they were outed because they were part of the BlockFire Celsius, but one of the bankruptcy filings that they were revealed to be mining, and then they just came out and owned it. But there are more probably that are mining because it's really zero cost to them to use their own energy. Mining is an easy way in, but it's important for us, I think, to advocate for more Bitcoin mining at the nation-state level because that mitigates the attack on Bitcoin. So we try to educate the governments and explain to them what Bitcoin is. But the best way for them to understand what Bitcoin is simply to experience it, transact it, to get some Bitcoin over Lightning, and then you see how powerful this thing is. Because when you understand it, then you are less privy to making bad policy or misunderstanding the nature of Bitcoin. So you understand that Bitcoin is simply information, and you can't really ban information. information. And then you'll be less inclined to do a lot of the bad policy making in the EU, like trying to ban self-hosted or self-custodial wallets, because you understand that you can't do that. And it's the same with mining. Mining, you could see governments cracking down or trying to enforce the miners to KYC their miners or filter transactions or block transactions. But if they're actually mining, then they should understand through that process that they can try to do things like attack the network through mining, but it probably won't have any effect. Or you can try to ban mining and it also won't have an effect too. Similar to China, they cracked down on mining and there was a mass exodus. But who was harmed at the end of the day? It was the Chinese miners that were harmed, not the rest of the network.
Bhutan is a small country in South Asia, and according to reports, it was secretly mining until the Celsius collapse exposed it. Mow believes this is just one example of nation-state adoption through mining and explains that there's more to come. Mow has explained that mining will play a pivotal role in pushing global adoption because it benefits the state and allows them to experience the power of Bitcoin simultaneously. He later explains that places outside the EU will likely make the transition faster because of the relative financial stability of and rigidity of the EU. While this is sad news for citizens and residents of the EU, Mow explained that this is an opportunity for the rest of the world, and especially Bitcoin holders who are sure to experience ridiculous returns on investment. On March 20th, he even boldly claimed Bitcoin would go as high as 100,000 per BTC, even before the halving. Truly bullish predictions. What do you think about Mow's optimistic outlook and opinion on the importance of nation-state adoption? To see the latest in crypto news, watch this video here.